My mother has always been manipulative, erratic, and domineering. Every relationship she's touched, whether with coworkers, siblings, my father, her former spouse, or friends, has crumbled due to her toxic behavior. 3 years ago, I landed a job opportunity abroad, in a country where I have a lot of extended family, which was exciting. I moved to embrace the chance to be near them and experience life on a new continent. While I was adjusting to my new life, my retired mother visited and insisted on purchasing a home near my apartment, claiming she'd relocate to this country. However, immigration laws made that impossible. She needed a long-term visa, not a tourist one, for an extended stay. Her pride wouldn't accept refusal, so she bought a stunning beachfront property anyway, hoping it would pave the way for citizenship. Legally, that was fine, but she could only stay for 90 days or 180 with an extension. She was furious when the case officer and her hired lawyer explained the reality, even berating them about her wealth and how much she'd contribute to the country through her property investments. When her plans fell apart after several failed meetings, we agreed I'd live in the house to maintain it, handle bills, and ensure it wasn't vacant while she visited periodically. Time passed, I met my girlfriend, we grew close, and she eventually moved in. My mother seemed thrilled about my progress in life, both personally and professionally. We video called often, and she genuinely liked my girlfriend. Eventually, my girlfriend got pregnant, and we shared the news with my mother. She was overjoyed and, in a shocking gesture, gifted me 50% ownership of the house as a present for us. It was the most generous thing anyone had ever done for me, completely unexpected. Last summer, she came to stay for 6 months to help before and after the baby's birth, which seemed kind. But that's when things took a dark turn. About 2 weeks into her visit, while my girlfriend was 6 or 7 months pregnant, my mother exploded at me in front of her. Earlier that day, I'd texted her privately, asking her to stop broadcasting our families, especially her, financial status to everyone. She loves flaunting her wealth, like how much she earns without working or the value of her properties. That kind of behavior makes me uneasy. I'm private and don't want people forming misconceptions about me or her. For context, she's also incredibly paranoid when she's not showing off. She's convinced her phone is hacked or tracked, constantly reporting random issues to the authorities, fearing someone will steal her money. She only uses her phone in her room on Wi-Fi, otherwise keeping it off most of the day. She's even reported friends to the police, accusing them of trying to access her bank accounts. For background, my mother, father, and I grew up without wealth. My father worked an honest job, and I did too after graduating college a decade ago. Her fortune came recently, 5 years ago, from a massive inheritance after she manipulated her way into marrying a wealthy family friend who passed away in 2020, securing his assets, properties, and accounts. During our argument last summer, she screamed that she was evicting us, demanding we find our own place, claiming we were making her ill and could land her in the hospital from the stress we caused. Despite us being at work most of the day and living like normal people. My girlfriend was terrified, understandably, as my mother ranted for 2 days straight. Then, abruptly, she booked a flight back to her home country, leaving a note ordering us to find a new home and car by a specific date. A couple of weeks later, she contacted me, asking me to send her listings for houses and cars. I ignored her, seeing it as a manipulative tactic to smooth things over. Instead, I focused on my job and my girlfriend's health, especially as she neared delivery. 3 months after our child was born, my mother returned for the holidays, planning another 6-month stay. We were hesitant after the previous incident, but I convinced my girlfriend that maybe our baby's presence would keep her in check, given the special time. The first 4 weeks were okay, not great, but tolerable. As I've said, she's controlling, constantly oversteps boundaries, and worst of all, kept trying to dictate how we should parent instead of letting us grow into our roles. What happened next destroyed my relationship with her and others who know her. During the holidays, we visited my girlfriend's family 2 hours away for a week. My mother had met her parents before, but this time, she became a different person. She barely spoke to them despite their hospitality and outright ignored other family members trying to engage her during Christmas. She kept trying to take our baby from others' arms and refused to join in dinners, games, or gift exchanges. She left Christmas early without telling anyone, returning to my girlfriend's parents' house, forcing me to lie and say she was unwell. The next morning at 4 a.m., she called me screaming about how she despised my girlfriend, her family, and wanted to leave immediately. I couldn't get a word in before she demanded I pick her up. I drove to get her, and she was outside with her luggage in the dark, insisting on taking a train home. I told her no trains ran that early, and she'd have to wait at the house if she was serious. I brought her back, and when my girlfriend, holding our infant daughter, casually greeted her and asked what was wrong, my mother lost it. She lunged, yelling profanities, vowing my girlfriend would never set foot in our home again, nor see me or our family. My girlfriend was shaken and confused. I stepped between them, pushed my mother and her bags into the car, and tore into her for threatening my girlfriend, especially while she held our daughter. I dropped her at the train station and left to comfort my girlfriend, who was understandably rattled, as was I after days of her threatening texts. She claimed she'd changed the locks and we'd never enter the house again, demanding we collect our belongings, which made up 95% of the home's contents. My friends and I went to pack, and she was there with neighbors, people she barely knew, for reasons I still don't understand. As I left, I publicly called her out for her actions so the neighbors knew what kind of person she was. A selfish maniac with no regard for anyone else. My family and I were fortunate to find temporary shelter for 2 weeks until we secured a cramped apartment, the only option during the holiday season. For the past 2.5 months, she's been back in the US since early January. 2 neighbors have been collecting our mail because they won't give me the new keys to my own house, fearing my mother's wrath over doing what's right. It's been hell these past few months, juggling work, keeping my girlfriend's spirits up, and maintaining a routine for our child in a tiny apartment. I've hired a lawyer, and we're pursuing a forced sale of the house through the courts, which she doesn't know about yet. I'm also getting a locksmith to restore my access to my own home. I don't care if she shows up and can't get in because the locks are changed. Advice on forcing the sale to cut ties for good. Update, as mentioned, my mother and I had a major fallout earlier this year, leading me to hire a lawyer and force the sale of our co-owned home, split 50-50. The court case was a clear win. Her actions were deemed in bad faith, especially since she's a tourist in the country where my family and I reside. My lawyer and I submitted a detailed statement with ample evidence, making the court's decision straightforward. She had no legal representation, and even told the judge she had to evict us immediately because we were disrespectful and stressed her out with our behavior. She admitted to changing the locks and giving keys to neighbors to prevent us from entering and potentially damaging the property, despite it being our home where we were raising our family. The court highlighted her illegal actions and bad faith, especially given our tenant rights and the fact that we have a child. They didn't take kindly to her nearly leaving us homeless in winter. The forced sale was approved instantly, and she was ordered to pay a fine, my legal fees, and return the keys within 24 hours. She sent a letter to the court demanding I cover her travel expenses for flights and trains, claiming she didn't know she was being sued. The court rejected it. The drama continued. The house sold at a loss due to a bad market, but I just wanted out of this mess. My lawyer informed us both that the sale was finalized, with the new tenant's deposit paid, and the property would transfer on October 1st. When she received that email, my mother went ballistic, sending 5 frantic emails to my lawyer and me, claiming the sale price was unacceptable and demanding it be canceled because she now wanted to keep the house. Court orders are final, as you know. She even offered me double the money to let her keep it, ranting about how it sold for 40% less than she paid and demanding the new tenant's contact information. She called our family back home, bad-mouthing me, but my aunts and cousins told her I did what was necessary to protect my family. They suggested she give me her share of the sale since she doesn't need the money and I have a family to support. She called them traitors and hung up. I'll receive a substantial payout soon, while she'll lose about 2.5 times what I gain. That's a lesson for you, Mother. You went too far this time. Next story. Daughter called me twice to pick her up from a sleepover because my sister's boyfriend made her uneasy. So I got her. But now everyone says I overreacted and should apologize. I'm conflicted and need advice because it feels like I might have overreacted. I'm a 37-year-old woman with a 10-year-old daughter, Lee, name changed. Lee wanted to sleep over at her aunt's, my younger sister's, house, where her 12-year-old cousin, Amanda, my brother's daughter, would also be for some cousin bonding. My sister is the fun aunt, so I agreed, and we dropped Lee off Friday morning. That night around 11 p.m., Lee called, saying she wanted to come home because my sister's boyfriend was there and she felt uneasy. I checked if everything was okay and if anything specific happened, then convinced her to stay the night, promising to pick her up in the morning. About 45 minutes later, she called again, insisting she'd only sleep at home. I drove 30 minutes to get her, and when I arrived, my sister was furious. She accused me of thinking her boyfriend is a creep and untrustworthy around my daughter. She called me overprotective, saying kids often feel shy around new people, and I blew it out of proportion. She insisted I apologize to her boyfriend to smooth things over, as he feels I don't trust him. I asked my husband, Jason 40, name changed, for his opinion. He said he understands my sister and her boyfriend's perspective, noting that as a man, he'd feel offended if a child called her mom twice to leave because of his presence. He suggested I apologize and help Lee get used to the boyfriend. All I did was calmly pick up Lee without accusing anyone. I've never said I dislike her boyfriend or think he's predatory, so I don't understand why this became a drama. My husband thinks Lee should adjust since Amanda was fine at the sleepover. I'm torn. I don't think I was wrong, but I'm not sure I was right either. Was I dramatic for picking her up? Men, would this offend you and should I apologize? I feel awful about this. Update 1, thank you for the responses to my post. I understand why some were upset that I didn't pick Lee up the first time and left Amanda behind. Here's the update. For privacy, I'll call my sister Jane and her boyfriend Mike. I spoke with Lee alongside my husband. She was reluctant to talk, saying she just felt uneasy and missed us. When my husband asked if she'd apologize to Jane, she refused. I asked him to step out so I could speak with her privately, assuring her I wouldn't judge or be upset, and asked what specifically made her uncomfortable. She said Mike played a tickling game with Amanda, who kept saying no, and commented on how the girls were developing nicely. He also tickled Lee, and when she told Jane she didn't like it, Jane dismissed it as fun. That's when Lee called the first time. The second call came because Mike insisted the girls shower before bed and gave Lee a lingering bedtime hug. He also called her his favorite smart girl during dinner and sat too close. She didn't feel safe sleeping there, even with a locked door. I feel immense guilt for not getting her the first time. I called my brother, and Amanda said she slept okay but heard footsteps at night. Other than those incidents, nothing else happened. My husband now knows but questions why Lee waited a week to tell us, given how close we are. He thinks she's exaggerating due to pressure to explain her discomfort. I believe her regardless. I apologized to Amanda for leaving her, and she's okay but knew her dad wouldn't have come. My brother seems oddly unbothered. Sleepovers will only happen at our house now. I'm not speaking to Jane, and I'm unsure if I want to. Thank you for the advice. Comments where Op responded. Comment 1, your husband needs to take his daughter's concerns seriously. His dismissiveness is why she didn't speak up sooner. Prioritizing his feelings as an adult man over a vulnerable girl's is awful. She bravely called twice to come home. She was being groomed. His reaction shows her he won't protect her. Explain what girls face constantly. Op, you're right, I'll make him understand. Comment 2, NTA. Your husband and Amanda's dad should be ashamed for minimizing their daughter's discomfort, leaving them vulnerable to predators. Consider leaving this situation and ensuring no unsupervised visits with anyone who won't protect your child. Op, I'll protect her with everything I have. My late mom was a CSA survivor, and my dad would have confronted my husband if he were alive. Comment 3, your husband and brother don't believe Lee. His were close. Why didn't you say sooner implies she's lying, teaching her she shouldn't have bodily autonomy. He's infuriatingly trying to make her compliant. Op, he sees it as childish behavior. It's disappointing, and I don't want Lee to feel her dad doesn't care. I'm looking into therapy for her. Comment 4, where's Amanda's mom? Tell her if Amanda's sent there again, she can call you to be picked up. Warn your brother you'll call the police if Amanda's exposed to this guy again. Check if he has a record. Tell Jane Lee won't visit due to safety concerns, and she's lucky you haven't reported him yet. Op, Amanda's mom left after my brother cheated when Amanda was 8, but they co-parent well. I don't know if he told her and I can't contact her. Jane blocked me. Mike was just sleeping over, not living there. Lee and Amanda often sleep over at Jane's, so it's not new. Don't judge Lee, she explained eventually, hence my update. Update 2, thank you for your support on my previous posts. A quick final update. I take full responsibility for telling Lee to wait until morning and for leaving Amanda behind, even though she said she was okay. I've apologized to Lee and promised to always look out for Amanda too. Jane and I aren't speaking. She's blocked me. I drove to her house, but she wasn't there, so I left. My husband and I aren't talking either since I showed him the posts and comments. Lee thinks her dad believes she was wrong, and I've reassured her she did the right thing. He thinks we created drama over something solvable over lunch, insisting Mike was just friendly. I'm considering a police report, but unsure if the reasons are strong enough. I'm also thinking about separation. I can't stay with someone who dismisses our daughter's feelings. Lee feels guilty and has apologized to him multiple times, so I must do what's best for her. Amanda's mom said she'll talk to my brother, but I haven't followed up yet. I don't understand how picking up my daughter caused such chaos. My husband dislikes Reddit advice and was offended I posted. His dismissal of Lee's feelings as an overreaction is disappointing. Thank you all for your guidance and corrections.